side, are there concessions that you would be willing to make to get this deal done?
I mean, I want the fight to happen. You know, that's kind of more of a manager question. You know what I mean? They just ask me if I want to fight. I say, yeah. They work out the numbers. But, you know, I'm in the ring in the gym, in the ring too, obviously. That's my job.
It's a boxing. Like I said before, these guys can't do what I do. And then, like I said before, each and every fight, I give y'all something different. I don't ever fight the same way. And I feel like I'm giving y'all guys knockouts as well, and I'm giving y'all a show on boxing. I'm moving. I can do it all. Me and Ortiz gonna go for sure. Like, it's like I don't really, you know what I'm saying? We don't really gotta say too much. Like, we know.
A blockbuster showdown that boxing fans have been calling for is now closer than ever. Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis have reportedly agreed to face one another, bringing months of rumors to an exciting turning point. Both men remain unbeaten. Both possess dangerous knockout power, and this clash has all the ingredients to decide who truly belongs at the top of the division.
Why?
It's too much going back and forth, a lot of talking, and I can't wait. You know, they're gonna see. I ain't gonna say too much. They're gonna see.
Is it personal between you two?
No, it's not personal, but it's just I see all the little talking that.
Boots didn't waste any time when discussing the matchup. He admitted that a fight with Vergil Ortiz is exactly the kind of career-defining challenge every elite fighter wants. At the same time, he stressed that his mission isn't focused on one opponent alone. His ultimate goal is to take on whichever champion or top contender moves him one step closer to dominating the division.
What's up, man? I know we never met, but I definitely wanted to ask you, who's your dream fight? Who do you see yourself having a mega fight with in your career that's gonna, you know, transcend you to the next level?
Any of the champions, Vergil Ortiz, you know, it's a super fight. Any of the champions at 154, you know, I'm here to make my mark, you know.
When asked how massive an Ennis versus Ortiz event could become, Boots made his opinion crystal clear. He believes the fight has everything needed to headline a major American boxing card. Ariel shared that same belief, agreeing that this isn't a supporting attraction but a true main event spectacle deserving of the biggest possible stage.
I think this is one of the best American fights that can be made.
For sure.
And with all due respect to everyone else around the world, I think it has to be in America.
For sure.
Right?
It gotta be. I feel like you gotta do this one in the States because everybody wanna see it. I think it's a pay-per-view fight, you know, and I think everybody will pay to see it, or everybody will come out to come see it wherever it's at.
Boots also questioned Ortiz's recent approach outside the ring. He pointed out that during their face-off, Ortiz appeared fully committed and eager to make the fight happen. However, in later interviews, other opponents suddenly became part of the conversation, creating what Boots sees as mixed signals about Ortiz's real intentions.
I would have fought and then said Danny Garcia, my dream fight. Everybody would have been going crazy. But it's crazy. But like I said, we went down there by ourselves, though, to let them know that we wanted this fight. And I thought the fight was locked in, set in stone. I was sitting back waiting. And we had a couple dates or whatever, and they kept falling through. And then I guess they came up with whatever they got going on. And then, you know, it is what it is, you know. But like I said, this is my division. I'm taking over. I'm taking over the division.
Addressing the criticism directed toward him, Boots brushed aside predictions that Ortiz would knock him out. Instead, he reminded everyone that Ortiz himself has been dropped before during his career. Ennis then turned the conversation around by asking a simple question. What happens when he lands his own clean shots on Ortiz?
Get him like that, I promise you, I get him out of there. It was just a lot of hate.
Same guy that been on the floor multiple times. He gets hurt. I mean, like, these guys just be talking, you know. And I figured that out. Like, these guys just be talking. What's gonna happen when I touch him?
Only two names truly stand above the rest at this stage of his career. Vergil Ortiz and Sebastian Fundora represent the biggest opportunities available. Those are the fights he believes will elevate his legacy and move him closer to becoming a top fighter in the division.
Biggest fight right now at 154. Belts or no belts?
Which one? Oh, you said Vergil?
You versus Vergil, yeah.
To be honest, I think all those fights are big fights.
You don't think there's one that's bigger than the rest?
No, I think between Fundora and Ortiz.
Looking beyond the immediate future, Boots outlined a long-term plan built around beating the very best. Regardless of whether Ortiz comes first, his main objective is becoming the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. Rather than chasing shortcuts, he wants to defeat every elite opponent standing in his way one by one.
See, you know, it's time to, for me, my legacy is to be, you know, collect them belts, you know, be multiple weight division champion, undisputed at 54 if possible, and keep doing it each and every weight class, 154, 60, and maybe 68. That's my goal, and to fight these top guys. And it's gonna happen, one by one.
From Ortiz's side, he firmly rejected any suggestion that he's delaying negotiations. According to him, his team already has complete approval to finalize the fight whenever the paperwork is ready. As far as is concerned, he's been prepared for this opportunity and is simply waiting for everything to be completed.
Every time they ask me, I give them the green light. It's only been one-sided green lights coming from out over here. The reason that the fight hasn't happened is simply because they haven't taken the fight.
Eddie Hearn said this week that the deal that was agreed to prior to Boots' most recent fight is now no longer the deal that's in play. Effectively, Vergil, what he's saying is that there need to be concessions on your side. Are there concessions that you would be willing to make?
Ortiz also shared his breakdown of Ennis's recent performance against Xander Zayas. While he acknowledged Boots' defensive ability, he believes the fight exposed several tactical flaws. He specifically highlighted the third round, claiming Ennis didn't respond well after absorbing a clean shot, and insisted those openings are areas he plans to exploit if they meet.
A lot of Jaron Ennis' fans made it seem like he was this guy, that guy that, I don't know, superior defense. But we've seen him get touched by fighters that can't really punch. And I knew it was only a matter of time before he would get touched and we would see something. The only thing that we hadn't seen was how he would react. And based off what I saw, was not very good on his end. And I just think that's something that I can...
Ortiz pushed back strongly against claims that he's been avoiding the fight. He insisted that every legitimate offer placed in front of him has received an immediate yes. In his view, the idea that his ducking Boots is completely inaccurate and is eager to put that narrative behind him once and for all.
It's the fight. I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying ducking, when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But they want to align it with me, then they...
That discussion led into a broader point about his career. Ortiz dismissed the idea that he's merely part of someone else's rise to stardom. He believes he's creating his own legacy. And if embracing the role of the villain motivates people to watch him prove himself, he's perfectly comfortable with that label.
The Golden Boy and Rick Regan, and I know myself, and Vergil's in camp already. Vergil's in Riverside. His dad, Vergil himself, we want to fight Boots. We want that fight to happen. Hearing from Eddie that Boots might want to unify against
Josh Kelly.
Yeah. Well, if you do that, that's taking advantage of a fighter that's injured, that's hurt. You see that cut?
Yeah.
That cut is like an inch deep.
Yeah.
That cut is big. If you bring somebody like that to a November fight, you're taking...
Trainer Robert Garcia added more fuel to the conversation by revealing that Ortiz is already well into training for a planned November return, whether Ennis is the opponent or not. Garcia also rejected the idea of a tune-up fight and criticized the possibility of Boots facing Josh Kelly, arguing that Kelly's recent injury makes that matchup far less meaningful.
Somebody like Vergil who's asking for it, so November's a perfect date. He had a great
to come
fight
back against Boots or to get a
against
tune-up
Boots.
and then Boots?
No, we don't need a tune-up. We want to go straight into Boots. We want straight into Boots. If Boots decides to fight Kelly and take advantage of Kelly being cut and everything, then that's kind of showing me that you really don't want to fight Vergil.
Well, he's already said he's more interested in Kelly and Fundora because he wants the 4 belts.
No, that's a lie, because he doesn't want to fight Vergil. He wanted to fight Vergil before. Why not anymore? Because he's a champion, he wants to unify. No, the fight against Vergil
Garcia continued by emphasizing that a fight with Kelly simply doesn't compare to facing Ortiz. In his opinion, if Ennis truly believes he's the best fighter in the division, then Ortiz is the opponent who can prove it. He argued that avoiding such a matchup would send a louder message than anything said during interviews.
He had a chance to February a year ago when the fight was offered for Saudi, and he said no because he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight 1 or 2 before at 154. Remember that? Everybody remembers that. Right. So if he's saying that now, well, we could say the same thing.
Why does your kid beat him? And then I'll leave you alone, Robert. Why does your kid beat him? Why does Vergil beat Boots? Because now Boots is looked at as the favorite of the division. He's got the 2 belts and everything. Why does your kid beat him?
I know he beats him. I know he beats him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you know. I know he beats him.
Garcia finished by expressing complete confidence in Ortiz's abilities. He made it clear that his fighter doesn't need an easier opponent before stepping into a huge fight. In his eyes, Ortiz has everything necessary not only to compete with Ennis but to defeat him. That's why his team remains focused on getting the deal finalized instead of considering backup options.
But it took 9 months of a year that he hasn't fought in. 2026 should have been the year that set up this fight red hot after he knocked out Lubin and Ennis looked great himself. It should have been there. It would have sold itself. But now 9 months separated us because of this legal dispute. 9 months is a long time, Annex. People forget quick. You got to remember, we're in the short-term business. Everything's red hot. Everything's social media. Everything's this. Now, people need to be reminded, and we're not reminded because 9 months had to pass. A damn baby could have been born in 9 months. It's a lifetime, Annex.
Sergio Mora viewed the situation a little differently. He pointed to Ortiz's lengthy absence during his legal dispute as a reasonable argument for taking one comeback fight before facing Ennis. According to Mora, shaking off ring rust could be valuable before stepping in against a fighter carrying so much momentum.
They agreed to a deal, a certain percentage split, a certain amount of money. This was set to move forward. Since then, Boots Ennis has gone out and won 2 pieces of the junior middleweight crown. Eddie Hearn says that entitles him to a bigger piece of the pie. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. This is business, and this is what happens when you step out of the limelight. You get slightly forgotten about, and the other guy takes advantage of your absence. And like you said, he has 2 sensational wins. Like you hear it all the time in business. What is it? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Attention then shifted toward the financial side of negotiations. Chris Mannix and Mora explained that Ennis's recent championship success has significantly strengthened his bargaining position. Thanks to those accomplishments, Boots now has a stronger case for receiving a larger share of the purse, and that negotiating power won't simply disappear once discussions begin.
When it comes to leverage, that's who gets the most money. Well, usually it's popularity, but leverage comes when you're red hot, like I keep saying, and right now Boots is red hot. So the leverage is on Boots' side, and I think the popularity still might be on Vergil's side. I think he will be the A side as far as the promotion goes. I don't know why I think that. I think
he's not going to be. This is something else that Rick Morigi.
Where is it going to be at?
Vegas.
Depends where this fight's at.
Vegas.
That's where the A side is.
Vegas.
Who's going to be the A side fight?
That naturally raised the question of which side truly holds the advantage in negotiations. Mannix suggested Ortiz's team may be willing to sacrifice certain benefits that usually belong to the A side if it helps secure the fight. However, Mora wasn't entirely convinced, believing business considerations could still lead to one additional tune-up before Ortiz meets Ennis.
To Ortiz, we may see a completely different guy, especially if he gets touched.
Man, he gonna cook Ortiz. He gonna cook Ortiz just like he just got done cooking Zayas. Look, man.
But that was expected, though.
Listen to me.
You're talking about Zayas, a guy that isn't known for his punching power at all. That was
or his speed,
or
really his skills. He checks boxes at a decent level, but not at an elite level.
But the thing is that he didn't feel the pop. You got to understand that about Boots. Boots is willing to take yours to get his, and it's a trap, right? A lot of his flaws.
Andre Berto examined how Boots might perform against someone with Ortiz's combination of speed, timing, and punching power. He believes Ortiz presents challenges unlike almost anyone else in the division. Timothy Bradley, however, had no hesitation making his prediction, confidently stating that Boots would solve Ortiz's style and emerge victorious.
And Vergil's a little twitchy too for a guy with power.
Yeah.
And aggression.
And
he got a lot of heart.
Fedora, the same thing, man. I feel like 54 is the best division in boxing.
I agree.
They have the hottest fights in boxing based upon just determination, will to win.
And the matchups.
You gotta kill these dudes to win.
And then
Really? You didn't have to kill Xander to win?
No, I'm talking about you gotta. I'm talking about Boots.
So now you're talking about. So now you're down to 3 guys that you're saying that about.
And then on top of that, you got Charlo coming in the mix.
And you got
He's
Char-
still not there.
The panel also highlighted what separates both fighters from many of their rivals. Beyond talent and athletic ability, they praised the determination each man displays under pressure. Boots and Ortiz were described as 2 of the toughest competitors in the division, possessing the kind of mental strength that often decides championship-level fights when skill alone isn't enough.
Oh, I'm going Boots number 1, Fedora number 2, and then Vergil.
Okay.
Vergil.
I think that's probably the consensus.
But that's all skill. But I think Vergil has the best resume.
We're going to reveal. We are going to reveal the 154 resume a little bit resume list later on in the show. The new Ring Magazine rankings later on in the show. 1, 2, 3.
I'm doing this off of resume, not off who I think is the best pound for pound or whatever. Boots number 1, Fedora.
This is one matchup every boxing fan should keep an eye on. If you don't want to miss the official announcement when it's finally confirmed, be sure to stay tuned.